Hello, everybody. Welcome to the HealthForce podcast. RamsandEliteFitness.com. RamsandEliteFitness.com. Well, today I'm here to tell you why C4 and other mainstream popular pre-workout supplements are essentially overrated and or a waste of your money. Now, with making such a bold statement, we're going to have to kind of dig in, create a context, create discussion, debate, look at the facts, and then, work through this a little bit. So on today's program, we're going to go through, it's going to be heavy content on labels. I'm going to teach you guys how to look at a pre-workout label, what you're looking at, what everything means, what we want to see on a good pre-workout, things that we don't want to see. And then you can always look at the cost that you're paying for what you're receiving, this perceived benefit. So I think where I want to start today on this is, giving the groundwork of pre-workouts in general and my overall take on them, okay? Unlike a lot of fitness professionals who like to talk and they use the talking point and the talking line about supplements aren't necessary. We hear that all the time. Oh, just eat a good diet, just work out, you'll be good. And, that sounds great, and it might win them brownie points from people that have been screwed over in the past through supplementation. But I'm here to tell you right now, supplements are a great thing if you know what to take and how to take it and are using high-quality products. The word in and of itself is exactly what it means. It's to supplement your overall program. So if you have a good workout structure, if you are eating the proper foods for your fitness goals, supplementation is going to excel. It's going to help all of that if you're taking the right things. And that's a big if. The supplement industry is a billion-dollar industry. It's super confusing. It makes people a lot of money. And anytime you kind of have those factors come into play, what's going to happen is it's subject to being hijacked, right? It's subject to having individuals run it or become popular in it that are in it for the wrong reasons. And I can't say without a doubt that a lot of supplement companies do things on purpose. But when you look at the science and research, this doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out a good product from a bad product. Okay, good product from a bad product. So I am a believer in things like pre-workouts. I take a pre-workout, and I know for a fact when I don't take it that my workouts are not as good. There are specific ingredients that I take that, increase my endurance, increase my strength, increase power, so that when I'm actually in my workout, I'm optimizing that hour and a half that I'm there. I don't want to go to the gym for 45 minutes or an hour, spend that much time of my day, and have a really bad experience or a subpar performance. To me, that is almost, it's just unacceptable for my values. So what I look to do is I look to take proper supplements that ensure and to help give that buffer so that it increases performance. So I do not think pre-workouts are bad. I actually I would encourage anybody that is serious about fitness and is in the gym, 3, 4, 5 times a week, if you're in their strength training, that you should take a pre-workout beforehand. I think, if you have the money to spend, that's the thing about supplements, right? It's all supplementation work. So it's not absolutely critical. It's not absolutely necessary. Like you can have plenty of results without it. But if you have $30, $40 to spend for, in a month, a pre-workout is probably one of the top supplements that I would recommend on top of things like, protein and multivitamins. But you can get a high quality pre-workout for $40, $50, and it'll last you the entire month. So again, the idea that things like C4, these popular brands that people take because, it tastes good, right? We hear, it's a blue raspberry. That's a great flavor. I'm taking this pre-workout. It tastes bomb. Or I feel energized when I take it. These are certain things that we hear about pre-workouts, and I'm here to make sure, and I want to really hammer this today. It's not about how it makes you feel. It's about how it makes you perform. It's about looking at the scientifically dosed ingredients, looking if you're getting the proper amounts. This is not a mystery realm. Like when we're looking at things like creatine and beta-alanine and branched-chain amino acids, like there's plenty of research already established to the point that researchers can, in a peer review or in a summary type of article, tell you exactly what your dose should be. People, we don't have to, me and you, don't have to go home and Google every single individual study on every single ingredient and then try to figure out what the average is. People, they've already done that work and have told us, on average, you should take this amount in order to receive benefit from this ingredient. So we're going to get into that today. That's the exciting part. I love teaching, and this is the best part about it is that the audience is going to have action steps. You guys will have things to take away from today's program, and you literally start using this newfound knowledge or education today. That's what it's about today. So let's hop right into it. We're going to look at C4. I have pulled up here several of their products. And look, this is not to pick on CellUcore or any specific brand, but this is all public information. It's out there, and it is what it is. We're just we're going to digest the information. And look, if you're somebody in the crowd that loves C4, if you love it, you think it's the best thing since sliced bread, you have amazing workouts, you have all this energy, then look, you keep doing your thing then. I'm just asking that you listen to today's information with an open mind and see if you still have that opinion after 30 minutes. That's all I'm saying. So I want to actually start by congratulating and or giving props to CellUcore and some of these other bigger brands. They are great marketers. Absolutely fantastic, great marketers. If you've ever run a Tough Mudder, C4's they're sponsoring the pre-race, right? They're there to give you drinks throughout the race. They're there to give you the chews, the carbohydrates, the bars. They provide that. They're getting in your face with their product. A lot of supplement companies, they may create a fantastic product, but they have no idea how to market or sell it. They're not business people. There may be science or researchers or people that love health and fitness, but they can't sell or market stuff. So these popular brands are doing a fantastic job of being in your face constantly so that when the average person thinks about pre-workouts, like, oh, I think I'm going to start that, I'm intrigued, they think of C4 immediately, right? There's this, so I have pulled up, I'm trying to get ahead of myself here, the supplement panel fact sheet for C4, just their original pre-workout. And we're going to get into this label and talk about some of the ingredients and some of the things that stand out to me so that, this takeaway knowledge that I hope to share today, you can now look at your pre-label, your pre-workout label, no matter what brand you use, and kind of cross-reference some of the information today. I was surprised going through C4's website here to pull up this information, the labels, that they had got 4 or 5 different pre-workouts. To me, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the face of it. Let me explain. They're creating different pre-workouts for, I guess, different goals. For instance, there's C4, the original. There's C4, the most explosive pre-workout, separate product. They have C4 pre-workout 50X, powerful energy. They have C4 ripped, explosive energy and cutting formula. And then they have CN3, it's a strength and pump amplifier pre-workout. Question I would pose to you in the audience is, shouldn't your pre-workout do all the above? Shouldn't your pre-workout give you energy? Shouldn't your pre-workout increase your strength? Shouldn't it increase your performance? I'm not understanding the concept behind having different pre-workouts to the point where you're saying this one's for energy, this one's for strength, this one's to help burn calories and to get ripped. You don't have to take a product based upon your fitness goals like that for a pre-workout. Your goal of a pre-workout should just be to optimize your performance. Period. End of story. That's simple. We're getting too complicated, and I'll tell you why. Because it helps in the marketing aspect. If you have a variety of products and they get to this niche, right, and they start to hone in on specific people, you're more likely to buy that because you think it's tailored for you. So if you're somebody that is like a strength or power lifter and you come on here and you go to C4, they have the original, and then they have a strength and pump amplifier, and you're like, oh my God, that's what I need. I'm training for strength. then you're more likely to purchase that than just a pre-workout that's just like an overall formula that just delivers high-quality ingredients. Does that make sense from a marketing perspective, how they're trying to pull on those strings? And again, I don't understand it because a proper pre-workout is going to give you strength amplifier. Like, that's not something special or unique to one or two pre-workout products. So that's first and foremost. The marketing on these things is incredible. So if you're somebody that is already into this idea of these mainstream pre-workouts, don't beat yourself up or don't feel confused or don't feel don't feel down because you've bought this product. And if I say one of the pre-workouts that you use, don't feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Like, look, a lot of this stuff is heavy. You're working your 8-hour day. You're doing your hobbies. You don't have time to sit in front of a computer for 8 hours and research pre-workouts, okay? So a lot of this is marketing. A lot of it's marketing, and that's how people, that purchasing power. I'm going to start on this label. We're going to look at just the original to start. I want to draw your attention to the very top. It'll say supplement facts. Underneath of it, it says serving size is 1 scoop. In parentheses, they put how much that scoop is in terms of weight. So if you were to put it on a scale and weigh it by grams, it'll tell you what 1 serving size is. A serving size of C4 original is 6 grams. 6 grams. Serving sizes in the container is 30. So essentially, if you do the math, right, it's about 180 grams of pre-workout. 180 grams of pre-workout. So that's the first thing I want to draw your attention to, and we will come back to that later because at the end of today's podcast, I will give some recommendations for pre-workout. And it's going to be very, very critical because you're going to see the ones that I recommend. They're not 6 grams. They're going to be 25, 17, 20, 22. They're going to be in double figures for weight. That's 3, just so you understand, that's 3 times as much as the C4 original. 3 times as much. So just from a volume perspective, there's that. As we move to the actual, ingredient part, vitamin C, 250 milligrams. Niacin is 30 milligrams. Now, again, that is a part of that's an ingredient that's going to give you the niacin flush, right, where it increases blood flow and you feel like you're tingling, and people often associate that with an increase in energy. And so a lot of companies will pump in niacin into their product to get that feeling to you, to give you kind of that placebo anecdotal experience to feel like, oh my God, this is working. I'm feeling crazy. But as we move on and get into other ingredients, there's not a whole bunch there to really suggest that is a productive way or a productive ingredient in a pre-workout. That's that. Vitamin B6, folic acid, vitamin B12. So the first 5 ingredients that we've got to are just essentially vitamins. Now, to me, I don't want a whole bunch, if any, vitamins in my pre-workout, and I'll tell you why. It's because I already take a multivitamin. I take a multivitamin every single day, and if you currently do not, I highly suggest that. I highly suggest you take a multivitamin. But why would I pay? Regardless, why am I paying for a pre-workout and you're putting in vitamins? Now, that's not a lot of weight. So again, out of that 6-gram scoop, 250 milligrams of vitamin C, 500 milligrams of vitamin B6, folic acid, 250. So that's 1 gram out of the 6. That's still 1/6 of this 6-gram scoop, which in my opinion is super small. 1/6 of that is vitamins. So if you're somebody that takes a multivitamin or somebody that eats like a super nutritious diet, there goes 1/6 of your money into something that you're probably already getting. Moving down to some of the actual ingredients that will enhance performance. We have the first one is beta-alanine. Now they put in here in the original 1.6 grams. 1.6 grams of beta-alanine. If you were to research beta-alanine, and we're not going to spend time on today's podcast going through every single ingredient and every single research, but again, I highly recommend examine.com. There's a search bar. You can put these individual ingredients in there, and they bring back to you all the research compiled. I mean, we're talking hundreds of studies, hundreds, and they grade the research. So on bad studies, they get a bad grade, and on good studies, a good grade. Beta-alanine, proper dosage, 2 to 5 grams per serving, 2 to 5 grams. So they don't even meet the minimum amount to really show performance benefits, which is 2 grams, 1.6. Okay, so they're only giving you 80% of what you need from beta-alanine. Creatine nitrate. Okay, creatine nitrate, we're having this interesting phenomenon now where instead of using creatine monohydrate, or people are really going out of their way to find different versions of creatine, and they're trying to find like the next big one, like the next. I think a lot of it has to do with marketing, if you're asking me. I think creatine now is one of the most. It is the most researched supplement that there is, and it's clearly beneficial for performance. But people always trying to find ways to market these sort of things instead of just saying, "Look, it's a great ingredient. Creatine works. Here's how you take it." People, we got the newest version of it. Oh my God, yeah. They always want to glamorize it, right? So they have creatine nitrate in here in the form of 1 gram. 1 gram. I'm going to read a little bit about this because I think it's important. So this is from examine.com. What is creatine nitrate? Creatine nitrate is a form of creatine where the molecule is bound to a nitrate group, and this form of creatine is currently being tested to see if it's worth it as a nutritional supplement. Only one study has been published thus far, indicating that creatine nitrate has about 10 times the water solubility as does either creatine monohydrate or a buffered creatine. In other words, 10 times as much creatine is needed in a certain volume of water to form. This likely means that creatine nitrate will be more palatable than creatine monohydrate when drank. Currently, no studies on creatine nitrate in regards to exercise performance or strength have been conducted. Claims of creatine nitrate being superior to creatine monohydrate are unsupported by the literature. Creatine nitrate supplementation is likely to be simply creatine supplementation. Hold on, let me read this again. Creatine nitrate supplementation is likely to be simply creatine supplementation plus a nitrate attached. Until more evidence arises, the answer to what creatine nitrate may be is overhyped. It's just more water soluble. So, again, practically no research done on creatine nitrate. Yet here it is in their product for only 1 gram. 1 gram. To put this in perspective, creatine monohydrate in the most researched form, 5 grams per day. So they're claiming, hey, this creatine nitrate stuff is a lot better than monohydrate because it's absorbed, it needs less water to absorb it, therefore you don't need as much product in there, so we can get away with 1 gram of this instead of having to put 5 grams of monohydrate in. And so it's their way to probably cut costs. So again, no research supporting that. Here it is, right in their product. So there's 1 gram of that in there. Again, 1/6 of the product to an ingredient that is not even researched. They only have 1.6 grams of beta-alanine instead of 2. We're running out of grams left in this scoop. Arginine, 1 gram. Arginine, again, it's conditionally, and this is from examine.com, and it's essential amino acid. It is important for blood flow and NO levels, but oral supplementation may not reliably improve blood flow in humans. Again, we're not going to get too deep into it, but again, it's a very hit or miss ingredient. It's not something that is super out and about and well known to increase performance. So there's 1 gram to that. The last thing we have is an explosive energy blend for 425 milligrams consisting of things like N-acetyl L-tyrosine, caffeine, velvet bean, seed extract, and theacrine. Now, that makes up the entire label, folks, and we didn't get to one thing that impressed me. Not a single damn thing on that label is impressive to me. And it shouldn't be to you either. It shouldn't be to you either. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this energy blend, this blend in general phenomena that we see on labels of supplements, and really hit this and get you some context, because this is something that drives me up a wall. Companies on a label can put what they call a proprietary blend, and they can give it crazy names, just like here, explosive energy blend, to make you think like it's this super productive, high quality blend of different ingredients. And They use it as a way, what they say is to conceal their top secret formulas, right? Like, I don't want anybody to copy my product, therefore I'm going to call it a blend and just tell you the overall weight of the blend, but I won't tell you how much caffeine or how much N-acetyltyrosine is actually in the blend. I'll just say it's a blend worth 400 milligrams, right? And so what companies can do then inside of that blend is they might have 6 ingredients. One is a high quality ingredient and 5 or average, or maybe 4 are average, and one is a low quality ingredient as a filler. They could put 50% high and average ingredients and then use 50% filler for that blend and promote it as if you're getting the high quality ingredient. So again, super shady. Not saying that every company that does it has that intention. I think, some of them do believe like, oh, I don't want people to copy my stuff. But at the end of the day, they can still get away with that without telling you exactly what you're consuming. I don't like it. Never in my life would I ever consume a product that has a blend and is going to hide specific information from you. And you shouldn't either. You should demand better. So just looking at this label, even if it put 2 grams of beta-alanine in, even if it put 5 grams of creatine in, if it put this energy blend on the label for 400 milligrams, I would never buy the product just because of that alone. Just because of that alone. I want to know what I'm consuming. I don't want mystery ingredients. So I highly encourage you, anybody that consumes a pre-workout, if it says anything on the container, like here's a blend, and it just tells you what the blend weight is, it doesn't tell you every single ingredient in the blend and the dose of every single ingredient, don't pick it up. So there's C4 for you, folks. One of the most popular pre-workouts on the face of the planet, and there's not one thing that impresses me about this. Let me ask you this. What impresses you about that label now that we're getting into it? And don't tell me, well, the blue raspberry tastes good. Tell me right now. Go through that label. Probably the one thing you would say if you're somebody that takes it is, well, I just feel energized. Okay, look, you may get caffeine, you may get the niacin flush, but tell me how that improves your performance. Tell me what increases your endurance, your strength. Go ahead. It's woefully unimpressive. Let's move forward. Here is a C4 Ultimate pre-workout. Ultimate. Serving size, 1 scoop, 19 grams. Okay, so far this fits the profile. This fits the profile of pre-workouts that I would recommend. A bigger scoop. You're going to get more ingredients. Let's continue. Okay, unfortunately it still has all the vitamins, vitamin C, niacin, vitamin B6, folic acid, vitamin B12, calcium. Again, not something I want in a pre-workout. Citrulline malate, 6 grams. Round of applause. That is proper dose ingredient and a highly beneficial ingredient. Citrulline malate. If that is inside of your pre-workout, if it's in the dose range of 6 grams, good. That's where it should be. Proper dose, proper ingredient. Beta-alanine, 3.2 grams. Hey, once again, round of applause. That's in that 2 to 5 range we talked about earlier. Again, another highly effective, highly researched ingredient, beta-alanine, and in a proper dosage. Nice. Creatine nitrate, 1.5 grams. Again, virtually zero research done there. Betaine, 1.5 grams. I still have the arginine in here for 1 gram, taurine 1 gram, and they have this energy and focus blend, 800 milligrams now with 300 milligrams of caffeine. So almost double the caffeine in this ultimate pre-workout. But again, a lot of ingredients. I mean, I'm going to count these: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 ingredients in this blend. All hidden, except for caffeine. Caffeine is listed at 300 milligrams. So that leaves about 550 milligrams left for 7 ingredients. No idea, zero clue what the dosage is on those. So there again, I would put this right back on the shelf and say, well, I don't know what the hell's in the blend. I'm not taking this product. If they can't tell me what I'm paying for, I'm not interested. So again, looking at the overall concept of this label, vitamins in the beginning again, properly dosed citrulline malate, properly dosed beta-alanine, and the rest is unimpressive. 2 ingredients, 2, that doesn't do it for me. I'm looking for, there's products that do more than just 2. So again, not even a good purchase. You want to know what this cost you? 40 servings, $70. $70 bucks. It's marketing. Let me ask you this question, too, because this is what makes me curious about something like C4 here and their brand strategy. Why do you have multiple pre-workouts and have even one titled the ultimate pre-workout? Why would you even sell a non-ultimate pre-workout? Like the C4 original, as bad as that was, no, like this ultimate one's still not very good. But at 19 grams, you get three times as many ingredients, and you have at least 2 that are properly dosed. And 2 highly effective ingredients, properly dosed. Why would you ever buy C4 the original? Or put it this way, why would you ever even sell it? Why would somebody buy it? If somebody comes into your store and you have C4 the original and C4 Ultimate, and they say, hey, look, I'm looking for a pre-workout, why would you ever say, hey, try C4 the original? What is the rational thought? There's no rational thought. Why would you carry that? Oh, that's right, marketing. Because somebody comes in and says, well, I'm going to spend money on my first one. I'll spend, $25 or $30 on the original since it's cheaper and see how it goes. Right? That's what happens. It's almost like the introduction to their brand. Yeah, try the original, man. See how it goes. All you would have to ask after that recommendation, so if you go to a supplement store and they say C4, ask them, so what are the ingredients in here that is going to improve my performance in the gym? That's it. Crickets. Crickets. So what, the person in the store is not going to know. Most people that work at these supplement stores they're not going to school for this. They're like high school kids and stuff. They're going to turn around the label and say, oh, well, there's a beta-alanine in here. That's a good one. And you say, okay, yeah, but it says 1.6. Look, I'm just getting ahead of myself and I'm giving you way too much science. But you're starting to understand the point that people aren't going to have the rational thought to talk you through why to buy this one or this one. Let's continue. C450X. Again, the same vitamins and minerals in the beginning. Vitamin C, niacin, vitamin B6, folic acid, vitamin B12, calcium. Beta-alanine, 2.4 grams. So properly dosed, proper ingredient. Creatine, nitrate, 1.5 grams. Arginine in here, 1.5 grams. And then they have an explosion blend that's hidden, 500 milligrams. And what's crazy is it looks like 80% the same thing. N-acetyl L-tyrosine, caffeine, velvet bean. They have an extra caffeine source and T-core, whatever the hell that stuff is. So, look, you're paying for almost the exact same thing. The size and the scoop on this one's 9 grams. What the hell is so different? Powerful energy and intensifier? It's almost the same thing as their original. Man, C4 ripped. Here's an explosive cutting and again, vitamin C, niacin, vitamin B6, folic acid, vitamin B12, calcium. Beta-alanine, 1.6 grams, underdosed. Arginine, 1 gram. Again, super, not that ineffective ingredient. A C4 ripped blend. Here's in a blend that they won't tell you what's in it. L-carnitine, green bean, green coffee bean extract, capsaicin, fruit extract. So they're putting some thermogenic ingredients now into the pre-workout. They have an explosive energy blend. So they have 2 blends on this one. Again, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. You can't it's not like you can just take a bunch of things and just put it in and say, look, now this is a fat burner. Man. Last one before I get a headache. CN3 Strength and Pump Amplifier. This one is a beauty. This one's a beauty. This is actually, it's sold out too on their website. This one's sold out. So either it means it's super popular and people buy it, or they don't produce a lot of it and it just goes quick. Serving size is 1 scoop. Vitamin C. And the only other ingredient of note is creatine nitrate. That's it, 3 grams. Holy cow. So they're putting in creatine that's not even been researched with vitamin C. That is what you're paying for. I'm really going to... People always, Fran, why do you get so upset about these sort of things? Because why are people paying for that? Creatine and vitamin C, you can buy an entire tub of creatine monohydrate. It's not expensive. An entire tub of just creatine monohydrate and put it into a workout shake and you'll get more results because creatine monohydrate's actually been researched. They're not putting in a crap ingredient. And it's cheaper. It's just, it upsets me. I hate marketing. I do. I hate it, hate it, hate it. So that's C4. And look, that's not the only one. I could do this all day long. We could go right through Muscle Farm. We could go through, let's think of some other big ones here. Let's see if I can pull some other big ones. The sad thing is there's so many freaking to choose from because so many go through these blends. Even like the famous Jacked. Jacked had a proprietary blend stuff on it, hiding some things. I mean, it's frustrating to me. So there's that. That's just C4, folks. Moving on here, I have a source, priceplow.com. It's the reason I'm going to bring them up is I'm going to use them as a foil for a quick second. PricePlow has, I would say, decent content on their website. They do a lot of lists. They try to come out and promote different products, try to get you information about them. My issue with PricePlow is essentially twofold. Number one, they, put themselves in a position as if they're some research authority and that they're just, reporting facts. And they're super opinionated. It's like they play favorites. They pick a couple brands that they promote. They pick a couple brands to like trash, and that's that. But see, it's not as if they're a commentary. Like if they just came out and said that, like, hey, I'm this dude. We're here to tell you what pre-workouts are great, which ones suck, and here's why. Like that would be one thing. But to come out and say like, hey, we do supplement reviews, we sell some supplements, and we really just want to help people and figure out what makes good what makes a good pre-workout. They don't do that. They don't look at the science and research, and I'll prove it in 1 second. We have in front of me their best pre-workout supplement buyer's guide for 2017. And we're going to read their article first, and then I'm going to read my article. I wrote an article in 2015 about pre-workouts. So I'm going to give you both. I'm going to give you this flip side here of phony advice about pre-workouts, and then somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, a science and research education background who lives and breathes this stuff. Here we go. Everybody loves to talk about their favorite pre-workout supplement, but everyone is different. You probably want different effects or are doing a different workout than the next person. Hey, pal. Everybody wants a different... See, this already, the first paragraph, we're already entering into this. It doesn't necessarily matter what workout you're doing. You want to increase your performance. Everybody has the same goal. Somebody next to you, they don't want to have a mediocre performance, and you want to have a good performance, therefore you get some different ingredients. Everybody should be if you're taking a pre-workout, if you're on that level, that you're actually consuming a pre-workout, then your goal needs to be by default to optimize your workout. Period. That's it. It's really that simple. There's no need to overcomplicate it by saying, well, everybody, should have a different workout. Therefore, every single pre-workout needs to be different, and some people have different goals. Just stop. Pre-workouts are not the topic to customize per individual. Like if you're somebody that's going for weight loss and somebody next to you is going for weight gain, that should not play a role into what pre-workout you choose. What really influences that is going to be your diet and your actual programming, the types of exercises you're doing, things like that. And on top of all the other stuff, the off-day stuff, what you do at home, your lifestyle, that plays way bigger of a role than anything that your pre-workout is going to do for you in terms of that specific, hey, I have specific goals, therefore I need C4. Or, hey, I have a fat loss goal, so I need to take a fat loss pre-workout. It's completely inaccurate. We've upgraded this page from a mere top 10 list to a total buyer's guide tailored to what you want, not what some store wants. Well, here's the issue with that is, and I commend them, that's thinking outside the box. What's funny is they're a store because they sell supplements. But then number two, people don't know what they want. The average individual is not going to have enough knowledge and enough background to sit there and go through 30 pre-workouts and decide which one they want. Or to answer questions, you could ask them questions and for them to go through and pick their pre-workout. I understand the innovation aspect of it, and even the talking point of not trying to force people to buy a certain product through marketing. But at the end of the day, this is not going to be helpful. In this guide, we'll ask you a series of questions, explain things a bit, and suggest 3 or 4 pre-workouts for you to consider. So here's something that we'll do fun. We'll keep going through this, but then I'll actually answer these questions, and I'll act as if I'm a normal person, and we'll see what they recommend. This could be interesting. Open labels rule. In general, we prefer products whose labels are 100% open and non-proprietary, a recent trend the best companies have taken. No more hiding the expensive good stuff at the bottom of the list. Now look, that is actually a nice sentence to read. And I encourage, again, all of you to do the same thing. If something is a proprietary blend, don't put it back. There's plenty of companies that are producing non-proprietary, full disclosure products that you can purchase and understand what you're taking. So that's the first thing I agree with Price Plow. Unfortunately, they sell proprietary blended products. So there's quite the it's pretty hypocritical to come out and say, look, in general, we want because this non-proprietary thing's become a sticking point, and so it becomes a soundbite where it's cool to say because in general, I think people are starting to understand that idea. Let me ask this: how many of you? If that's the first time you've heard of proprietary blends is today? Is that your first time? I'd reckon that probably a decent percentage of you, maybe 60 to 70%. This is not your first time. You've heard of proprietary blends. Maybe you don't understand it all the way, but you've heard of it before. And so what's happened is these shops, these companies, everybody is now picking up on that because, I mean, they've been outed. I mean, there's people that understand now that a proprietary blend essentially means that we're not telling you what we're giving you, and that's shady. And so people aren't purchasing those products. So now it's become a soundbite where if you say it, it's almost like you're earning trust from people. Like, hey, we're going to say we don't like proprietary blends, so people can trust us. And the problem with that in this context here is that they say this. In general, first of all, that's a qualifying line. How about this? If you ask me, Fran Ramsden, Ramsley Fitness, what products do you recommend? I'm going to say, in every scenario, I'm recommending a non-proprietary blend formula. I'm not going to say, well, in general, there's some exceptions. No, I'm not going to put the qualifier. Just either you like the idea of getting rid of non-proprietary blends and doing full disclosure, or you're okay with people still putting that on their labels and hiding things. To me, it's black or white. It's pretty clear cut where, you either support it or you don't. Even if you only tolerate it in small doses, you're still suggesting that you're okay with it. So they say that, but you'll see as we move on here, a lot of the pre-workouts that they recommend are proprietary blends. So complete contradiction. No scams here. If this is your first time at Price Plow, we are a price comparison site affiliated with the stores, so we stay as unbiased as possible. In my preface, I told you they're not unbiased. So they do a complete crap job at being unbiased. We take just one advertiser at a time, but our opinions are never for sale, and certainly won't push BS that will get your Visa charged $70 every month like many awful top 10 list-based websites. Instead, we send you to the best price stores, which is Amazon, included, and let you go from there. Before you leave, you're encouraged to sign up for Price Plow's email price drop alert list. I don't mind any of that. I'm not against making money. So people, if they're going to advertise on their website or, even ask for reviews and pay for reviews or pay for spotlighted posts, I'm fine with that. I think it's actually smart. What I don't like, though, is that you say we're non-biased, we're right down the middle, we're going to give our opinion, we're trying to report the facts here, but in the same breath say, but we are opinionated and we pick favorites. To me, it's just a brand, it's a communication message that Price Plow, if they just cleaned up, I think would be fine. So look, I know we're using them as a source in the program here for today's podcast, and it may sound like I'm super against them. And in this context, I am. But if they were to just go one way or the other and say, look, we're just going to report facts, we're going to do some digging and some researching and kind of give you the information and then go from there, that'd be one thing. Or say, look, we do commentary. We pick our favorites. There's products that we really, really like this podcast. I'll give you this is the perfect comparison. Our podcast is based on science and research, but I give my commentary. I don't pretend for 1 second that this is a newsworthy podcast, that we just go right down the middle on every issue. We don't pick sides, that we just report things, and that's that. No, we report, but then I also am really heavy in my commentary. I'm very opinionated, and I say that. I pick favorites. I tell you why. I don't try to misrepresent myself by saying things like, oh, this product sucks. And it's like, well, why? I just don't like it. You know what I mean? Like we're a little more detailed and in-depth than that. So let's get started. So here's what I'm going to do at first. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scroll down to their recommendation list, and then we'll come back and go through this questionnaire a little bit. So it says, let's get started. Choose how you'd like to get your recommendations. The first option is to do a buyer's guide upon my needs. So I'm going to open up a separate window for that. We will do that. But then the second option is to do their top 10 list, which is based on their opinions. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We're going to go to their top 10 list. See if we can figure this damn thing out here. It's not very done very well here. Okay, so their top 10 pre-workout supplement list is split into two top 10s. Holy crap. So, see, I'm already getting lost in this damn thing. So, one is for pre-workouts with quote-unquote exotic stimulants. One for pre-workouts without next-level stimulants. I don't even know what the hell that means, folks. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's just exotic stimulants, next-level stimulants. Here's what should happen. They should look at whatever the hell these stimulants are and say, are these effective for a pre-workout or not? If they are, then just make one top 10 list and not have that even be a variable. If they are deemed completely worthless waste of time, then any product that has an exotic stimulant, you just don't put it in your top 10 list. That's as easy as it is. But you're going to ask the consumer, the average consumer, do you want exotic stimulants? No one's going to know what that means. So once again, we'll open up two windows. We'll look at both lists. Okay. Their top 10 list without exotic stimulants, just because I don't know what they're getting at with that. Top 10 list. Here we are. Number 10 is Jacked Factory Altius. We look at their label. Actually, pretty solid. Full disclosure on the label: citrulline malate, beta-alanine, creatine monohydrate, betaine, caffeine, alpha-GPC, bioperine. That's actually a pretty solid supplement. 1 scoop size, 20 grams. That is Jacked Factory Altius. So again, this is the product that I would consume. Jacked Factory Altius. If I picked it up, each dose, by the way, for those products are in proper range. Citrulline malate 8 grams, beta-alanine 3.2, creatine 3, betaine 2.5, caffeine 325 milligrams. So again, solid product. Number 9, NutriBio Fighter Fuels. They have a love fest with NutriBio. Full disclosure, because they won't tell you, I'll tell you. And NutriBio is a pretty good supplement line. It's a pretty good supplement line. It's just that I just don't like when people do things behind the scenes and then they're not upfront about it. Again, but NutriBio starts with heavy, well, not heavy, but vitamin C, vitamin B3. So again, lots of vitamins, lots of minerals in the beginning. And then they go through and have like preload. So here's the difference. They have blends and matrices, but they list every ingredient and every dose. So that's fine. If that's the way that you want to categorize your ingredient list, I'm fine with that. Just tell me what's in it and the dose. And again, it's a pretty good supplement. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna get to their top 3. This doesn't interest me that much here. Well, here's one. And number 6 is Cellucor C4 Ultimate. Remember, we just went through C4 Ultimate, proprietary blend. So, in general, we don't support this. Yet it makes your number 6 on your list. I'm trying to go through here and see. Let's get these top 3. Okay, number 3 is Cage Muscle Pre-Caged. Pre-Caged is actually good. It's from Chris Geffen. It's a good product. It does have a weird blend on his, though, which I'm not a fan of. Number 2, Transparent Labs Pre-Series Bulk. Do they even have their label? Doesn't show it. Number 1, NutriBio Pre. Well, there's the odds, folks. I told you they have this love fest, so Shouldn't be a shocker to me. But again, it's a good product. Full disclosure, no label. Nice. Let's go to this other pre-workout list. Top 10 with exotic stimulants, whatever the hell that means. Okay. Number 1, APS Mesomorph. Mesomorph is awful. Jesus Christ. Serving size, 15 grams. This is a Mesomorph. Number 1 is a nitric oxide complex, 6.5 grams, hidden. Made up of beta-alanine, citrulline malate, arginine, but it's all hidden. It doesn't tell you how many grams of each. They have a second blend. Again, several ingredients not listed. And then they have a third blend. Several ingredients not listed. How the hell is that your number 1? Let's read. The reason we love APS Mesomorph is because they've disclosed to us that the maximum serving size of 1 full scoop contains 65 milligrams of DMAA. That's your number 1 reason. Well, they've disclosed that there's an ingredient in there that that we like. Okay, well, can they put it on the label? So for us, we're big fans of Mesomorph at a half to 3/4 of a scoop, and you won't really find a more intense energy supplement out there. It's also a great deal. This is a no-joke product that is to be taken seriously. Start light and enjoy the ride. Mesomorph is here to stay. One last thing, try the flavor. It's good. Okay. The problem with that is they didn't tell me one damn thing about how it's going to increase my performance. Energy doesn't necessarily increase performance, by the way, folks. Like caffeine, the number 1 reason to take caffeine is to blunt like muscle trauma. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's essentially as you're working out, it really dulls that effect that your muscles are getting weak and tired and the burning sensations. Things like that are essentially limited because of the caffeine. So that's actually the number 1 reason to do it, not because you're on the drive in your car on the way to the gym and you're screaming at rock music at the top of your lungs. That's not the reason to take caffeine. So energy alone is not the main reason, and that's the only thing that they discussed here. They did not talk about, didn't talk in detail about strength, power, endurance, explosion, things like that. So to me, that's not the reason to have a number 1 pre-workout. Number 2, Innovator Labs Wicked. Wicked has 1, 2, 3, again, 3 proprietary blends, completely unlisted. Again, so I think they're basing these things off of just how the person feels. Like, as I'm reading it here, it says, the honest truth is that this is an intense of a supplement as we recommend. If you can't going along with this, then you are either extremely stimulant resistant or it's seriously time to take a stim break. So again, they're just like taking these products and they're like, yeah, I feel energized. Like, complete disregarding the label. Number 3 is high-tech pharmaceuticals jacked up. And again, proprietary blended, not telling us. So again, okay, done. So that's that would be Price Plow. That is, and again, the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to show you what other people out there are talking about. So like you see there, they claim they don't care about they care that they're super picky about proprietary blends, and yet they're on one of their top 10 lists because they have a gazillion. They're recommending top 3 all proprietary blends. So now let's go through their buyer's guide and see how easy this is. Okay, question 1. Do you want stimulants or stimulant-free? The question is simple enough but hugely important. The stimulant products, of all of which are caffeine-based, will add a lot more energy, but they aren't for everybody. If you work out at night, don't like caffeine, or on a stimulant break, choose the stim-free path. That's a fair question. But I think the important part is it's more about, can you tolerate caffeine and or like when do you work out, as compared to like, hey, do you want to feel energized? So yes, I want stimulants like caffeine. I'll answer yes to that question. Question 2, do I want powder, pills, or ready-to-drink bottles? The majority of the best of it is powder-based, so that's where most readers will go. Pills don't have typically enough space to get all the energy pumps and focus enhancement that you want. So yes, I'll pick powder. Number 3, do I want high energy, focus pumps, value, or balanced 1 scoopers? Excuse me, I want all the above. Why do I got to pick? Typically, the energy section is the most popular area. This is where you can get your stimulant fix and then some. The focus area contains supplements that are marked towards tunnel vision. Value deals with best deals on a budget, and pumps is going for obviously muscle pump and blood flow. And then one scoop wonders. These are products that have everything you want in one scoop. Well, again, I guess one scoop wonders. One scoopers, balanced blends only. I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, here we are. Number one scoop wonders. Number one pre-workout they recommend is... Wait, what the hell is going on here? Okay, number one, Transparent Labs pre-series bulk. Number two is NutriBio. All right, done. Off the website. Okay. So, again, that's a lot of information on Price Plow, and it's done in a very sporadic manner. Lots of lists, lots of things going on, and here's what they do a good job of, is bringing supplements that nobody's heard of onto an internet platform. As I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of the mainstream pre-workouts suck. So if you go into a store like GNC or Vitamin Shop, a lot of those there that they have are going to suck really bad. So a lot of the best supplements are actually like underground or, small businesses. So for that, I give them props. I don't know. I'm allowed to have my damn opinion, all right? Here we go. So I wanted to have that article preface mine. On our website, ramsleyfitness.com, under the latest research tab, if you filter for supplements, you'll find, or you can just Google it, choosing an effective pre-workout. So instead of going through that list and figuring out, answer questions that you're not really going to know the answers to, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you the information that you need, and then you can go from there. So here we go. Choosing an effective pre-workout is oftentimes a crapshoot. With so many different products, how do you choose the right one? How do you win this game and pick the correct choice? And I'll break it down all for you here. Purpose, ? You must first understand the reason for taking a pre-workout supplement. In order to choose a good product, there is a big misconception that a great pre-workout supplement has a variety of stimulants in each in enormous doses. This way, you feel super energized. This is in fact an error. If all you are looking for is a jolt, make yourself a cup of coffee and save some money. The purpose of a pre-workout is to maximize the effectiveness of the workout. Sure, being energized is part of it, but that's just one piece of the equation. You also want to make sure that you can maximize muscle growth, strength, and endurance. There are some really cool scientifically proven supplements that get buried underneath all of the stim hype. We will get into all that shortly, but make sure you understand the purpose of a pre-workout before reading further. To summarize, if you just want energy, go get a coffee or an energy drink. If you want to maximize workout in terms of strength gains, etc., then choose a pre-workout supplement. Folks, this was written January 16th, 2015. It is now March 23rd, 2017, and I sound the exact same. You want to know why? A lot of places don't do this. If a year, 2 years, 3 years later, it's a completely different tune. The reason mine's the same is because I write my opinions based upon the science and research. Now, if the science and research changes, which usually changes very slowly, then my opinion will certainly change with it. I'm not tied down to a specific product or a super, a way of thinking, and I'm all in on a mode of thinking. Unlike those that are push gluten-free all the time, or everything's got to be organic. Like those folks, they're stuck in that realm. And if new research comes out that says, hey, look, gluten is such a minor hit on the population that unless you're diagnosed, actually, what's funny is this is true already. Unless you're diagnosed with celiac disease, you don't need to be gluten-free. It's going to have virtually zero impact on your digestive tract. Well, anyways, if that were to change, then those people, they're going to have to do a complete 360 on their opinions. So look, I'm just very consistent. I want to promote the truth. I want to get people to understand things. And it's based on something. I don't just come out of here and say, well, here's my opinion because I said so. Like, my opinion's got to be based on something. Too many people do that. And actually, our podcast next week will be about that, is everybody having an opinion on things. If you scroll down your Facebook, right, somebody asks a question about nutrition or a supplement or a protein powder, there's 30 damn comments on it, and everybody's giving their 2 cents, and nobody knows why. Well, here's what I use. Well, take this one because it's got organic. And they try to go off, but they've got zero understanding of the entire process. So that's something we'll get to. But I want to make sure that you understand this is very cleaned up. It's a cleaned up article, to the point, It's going to be helpful and get you the information that you need. All right, here we go. The effective ingredients. Too many individuals haven't the slightest clue on how to actually read labels. They see big words, which make zero sense, and a bunch of numbers. Educate yourself below on what to actually look for. And please, nothing with proprietary blend on the label. They could be giving you 0.000001 microgram of an ingredient for all you know. It's just plain stupid to use a product that uses this tactic. And again, I stand by that. Zero. Unlike Price Plow, 0% of my recommendations are going to be proprietary blend. In fact, I've had multiple people message me on Facebook, or social media, or email me and say, what do you think about this product? I look at it for 0.5 seconds because the first thing that I see is proprietary blend, and I say, I cannot recommend this because of proprietary blend. Here's what you should look for instead. That's been kind of my default answer. So I go through in this article talking about creatine, beta-alanine, branched amino acids, caffeine, etc., and I give you the gram dosage for each of those and kind of what you should look for as a ballpark figure. Ballpark figure. My pre-workout recommendations, and these are mainly true still to this day, by the way. There have probably been some great products that come on the scenes the last 2 years, but I still would hold true for some of these. I'm going to get into them here. My number one recommendation for pre-workout is Pre-Gym. That is the same product that I've used for the last two years or what have you. The reason I don't do a whole bunch of shopping for pre-workouts, like I don't change, is because I like Pre-Gym. Like I like the results I get from it. There's just zero reason for me to ever trade and try something else. Just zero reason. I'm not interested. Pre-Gym is sold right now on Amazon and at GNC. There was a big, it's on bodybuilding.com. There's a lawsuit pending where Jim Stepani, who is the doctor behind the product, worked for bodybuilding.com for a time period of a contract, whatever. Created this supplement, Pre-Gym, and sold it through bodybuilding.com only. Contract ran out, and now there's a big dispute about who really has the rights to it because Dr. Stepani took it to GNC and Amazon and took it off of bodybuilding.com. But bodybuilding.com is still selling Pre-Gym, and Jim has kind of redone it, and it's very, very confusing. At the end of the day, they're both high quality products because they're the same thing. And unless you really care about bodybuilding.com or have an opinion about it, then it's not going to matter who you get it from. I don't like bodybuilding.com. I never really have. They've been for forever a high source of supplements, and for a while you could really find a lot of stuff on there. But obviously here the last couple of years, as the internet and Amazon has really just kicked butt in like the online retail business, there's plenty of options. So I've never really liked bodybuilding.com all that much, and so I don't buy there. I buy from Amazon. But Pre-Gym can be found on either Amazon bodybuilding.com or GNC, like the actual stores. But my number one recommendation, here's why. I have a label pulled up here from Pre-Gym. Serving size scoop in terms of the weight. Oh my gosh, didn't even pull up right. I believe it's like 26 grams, okay? Didn't pull up right on the computer. Let's go through the ingredients. No vitamins or minerals in the top sector, so there's no calcium, things like that. Creatine hydrochloride, 2 grams. So creatine hydrochloride is a variation of creatine that attaches the HCl group to it so that when it goes into the stomach, it's supposed to, it's like a buffer, right? It's supposed to help it absorb with less water. Creatine hydrochloride is not the same level as the creatine nitrate we talked about earlier. There's a little more done on creatine HCl. I still recommend creatine monohydrate as the number one creatine supplement, but HCl is, it intrigues me. Beta-alanine, 2 grams. Betaine, 1.5. Taurine, N-acetyl-L-cysteine. Alpha-GPC. Citrulline malate. Beetroot extract. Branched amino acids. Caffeine, huperzine, and byropurine. All of it in adequate doses. So I'm getting 25 grams of a product. Think about this. I'm getting 25 grams of pre-workout ingredients, and if you're using C4, you're getting 6. And like we discussed today, those aren't even in the proper dose ranges, so you're not even maximizing your workout. You might get that skin flush and maybe get some caffeine hype. And I'm over here taking creatine, beta-alanine, branched chain, citrulline malate, and I'm getting I'm getting performance increases, strength, and power, all that. And you've got some stims going on. So again, what do you want from your pre-workout? I recommend things like pre-gym because I want to maximize your performance in the gym. So that's one for you. I like Carbon. Carbon by Lane Norton. He sells it on bodybuilding.com exclusively, I believe. His is a non-stimulant. So it doesn't have caffeine in it. I think he created his to kind of hit that niche market of people that either work out at night or in the evening or that they're just sensitive to caffeine. So again, though, citrulline malate, creatine monohydrate, betaine, L-carnitine, and some other ingredients in here. But again, this is one that I recommend. Serving size 17.3 grams, so a decent sized scoop, not filled with vitamins and minerals. Actually gets into some great ingredients, and I'm a big fan of Lane Norton in general. So I like him. And then my number 3 recommendation, and really it's just because of the use of finding it, is Mr. Hyde. Mr. Hyde. Good old Mr. Hyde. It's commercialized a bit. Like I could find it here at a local Giant Eagle, and they actually sell it now in a bottle that's already with water, and you just kind of hit the cap down, and it drops all the ingredients into the bottle, and then you can shake it up from there. It's only a serving size of 7.7 grams. So again, it's on the very low end. It's very comparable to the C4. The main difference is the quality of ingredients. Beta-alanine, 2.5 grams. So again, on a more dose level. Creatine nitrate, again, I'm not a fan of it, but 1 gram. Agmatine, L-citrulline, but only 500 milligrams. Again, not that dose. Caffeine, 300 milligrams is good. Caffeine citrate, some other ingredients in here, but it's all full disclosure. Again, it's not my favorite. And look, if I sat here for 8 hours and looked up every single ingredient, I'm sure to find a better product that's more convenient than Mr. Hyde. I get it. But for a mainstream one, it's decent. It's a decent one. Like I'd recommend Mr. Hyde over C4 all day, every day. I also have, back to the article now. The article, I gave my top 3. It was pre-gym. Mr. Hyde was number 2 at the time of writing this. Number 3 was MTS Clash. I am a big fan of MTS. MTS is tigerfitness.com. Mark Lobliner, his own brand. I do like MTS Clash. So any of those are great. Go ahead and buy them. Wraps up today's podcast, folks. It's hard. This might be a podcast you have to listen to a couple times. Lots of content, lots of different products. We bounced around a good bit. The takeaway message is that the products you take, regardless if it's a pre-workout or a protein powder or a post-workout or a vitamin, they should really disclose 100% of the ingredients. 100%. If it hides even a slightest bit of it, I cannot recommend it in good faith just because I don't know what the hell it is. So that's your big takeaway. If it doesn't list it all out, don't take it. The next step, though, is to go to something like examine.com or to use me as a resource. Send us an email to ramsandelitefitness.com or send an email to ramsandelitefitness@gmail.com. Go on our website. You can submit a contact form. Go to our social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Message us, ask us what we think. Going to find the right dosage of the right ingredients. That's the next thing, is looking at quality. And a lot of times you're not going to find a high quality product for 6 grams. I mean, you can just do so much better. So, my hope is that it's at least eye opening. You start to at least think about this realm, and you just don't, you just don't be one of these people that do a Snapchat video and take a scoop of C4 because it's only 6 grams, put it into your mouth and chug some water and think like you're doing a pre-workout shot. I'm so cool. Like, great, but go to the gym and now see if you can get results and see how that's doing for your workout optimization. So don't be one of those folks. Buy a product because of the quality. Again, super easy to reach, and I look forward to seeing you all for next week's podcast.